Thank you so much, Bob Goldberg, for joining us today. This is such an amazing time for all of us. Tell us what we can expect at Annual Conference this year.
Well, the fact that we're even talking about Annual Conference in itself is a major achievement. We are here in San Diego. We have close to 11,000 members in person. We have over 1,000 virtual visiting us. It really in itself is just an amazing event to be able to bring people together after what we've been going through. 2 years doing primarily all virtual events. And now it culminates with us being able to do an event here live that is also what I would call a hybrid event, because we do have a virtual component.
Is it what you expected, or is it better?
Far better. If you had bet me 6 months ago if we were going to have this, I would have said I really don't know. A couple months ago when we said let's make the decision, let's put in enforced protocols, stronger and more stringent than what's even suggested for COVID. And knowing all that and knowing the trepidation that people have, we follow the CDC guidelines, we follow what is happening, but how many members will really come to an event like this? And what I see is members have flocked here, excited to be with one another. Yes, we're wearing masks. Yes, we're taking social distancing and steps, as I mentioned, but it really says a lot that the members want to re-engage with each other. This is a people business, and this is an opportunity for people to get involved with each other, catch up with each other. And then I found myself when I run into members and even my own staff, and I'm looking at them and I say, now, is it the first time we've seen each other? Because there's been some other smaller events where I've attended, and I'm looking at them going, and they're like, no, this is the first time we've actually seen each other, because I can't remember if it's in person or it's been on a screen in a little box. So the expectations are have exceeded what I thought, and I think that really says a lot about the nature of who we are. Realtors, they're all about let's get together. It's a very important part of our economy, and people want to get together to continue our next journey.
Wow. Do you have a special message for them for this?
You know, for those of our members that are here, enjoy it. Relax, get a chance to get to know each other again, re-engage. More importantly, continue to stay involved with the issues that matter to our industry, and more importantly to the consumers that we serve. That's why we exist. You know, one of our mantras is that's who we are. That is who we are. And I'm glad that we're being able to sit there and meet with one another and engage with each other again.
Well, it sounds like a lot of things will be the same, but there are also differences as well. What are we going to see?
The same is that we have an annual conference that is happening in November. We have a great city, but the format and the templates that we're using for the structure of this have changed. Now, even pre-COVID, we were looking at how do we change what we do at annual conference to really re-energize it, make it more fun, re-engaging. Maybe it's not the same approach that we've done before. A lot of associations use what I call a cookie cutter approach. You come in, you have a general session, you have a couple meetings, you have a trade show floor, you have a celebrity speaker. Well, we have multiple celebrity speakers here. We've got Drew Brees, for example, you know, star quarterback from the New Orleans Saints, who just retired. Okay, if you feel that way. I myself am a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Of course.
But we got Drew Brees here. We have decorated Olympian Simone Biles as another general session speaker. She'll do our inspiration on Sunday. We're doing, as I mentioned, multiple general sessions. We used to have just one. We want our members to be able to have opportunity to attend education sessions, networking sessions, fun events, receptions, and our trade show floor where they can learn about new innovation. We restructured it so that there's less competition that would keep someone from one event to go to another because things were scheduled on top of each other. That's typically what happens. So we spread our schedule out a little bit more to allow our members the flexibility to say, I want to spend the day on our trade show floor. And I really want to give a special thanks to our exhibitors and our sponsors. They came back. We've got over 250 exhibitors here. Not quite as much as we typically would have, pre-COVID, but we're building back. But the fact that those companies took a chance and said, we want to be in front of our realtor partners as well, and kudos to them for really stepping up as well.
Well, you talked about partnerships. One of the big ones this year is the Food Recovery Network. Let's talk a little bit about that.
That to me, personally, is very, very important. And I will give you some background as to what that is. What is Food Recovery Network? For years, being a part of the National Association of Realtors, we bring tens of thousands of people to these conferences. We feed a lot of people, and the food that is served is thrown away at the end of each event. A lot of times because of local ordinances or regulation says it cannot be reserved or even given away to hotel staff or to the community that may be hungry. And that has always bothered me, and I've always wanted to figure out, is there a better way to this? So the quick story is my daughter, who was a student at the University of Maryland, was telling me she runs events at the university, and she said, Dad, there was something that was started by students 10 years ago called the Food Recovery Network at the University of Maryland. It is now all over the United States, and it was to deal with the same exact issue, that if you work with the respective chefs and cooks in restaurants, and they serve the food differently, instead of saying, for example, we put it all out, because the view then is, well, it could become contaminated.
Right.
The kitchens now serve smaller amounts. Like, let's say there's eggs. Instead of bringing all the eggs in gigantic pans, bring smaller ones out. Keep refilling them. The food that is not yet served, in many cases, can be recovered and provided to either the homeless or to the hungry and families. And I'm pleased to tell you that as a food recovery certified partner, we have fed thousands of families as a result of our partnership with them. And I also serve on their board of directors now because I want to show that the realtors' commitments are to give back to our communities that we serve.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Are you finding that more events like this, other organizations are sort of jumping on that same bandwagon because of what you just said, how important that is?
And when I introduced this with our leadership team in 2019, just before COVID,
right.
We had an event with our incoming president, Vince Malta, and Vince and and myself were on stage, and I said, I want to tell you about Food Recovery Network, and here's the challenge, because we had every one of our boards of realtors in the audience. I want to challenge you to sign on with us. And we had a big board up on the screen, and we said, text this number if you're going to participate with us in Food Recovery Network for your events. And the screen lit up with cities all throughout the country from our boards of realtors. So we've had hundreds of our local and state associations of realtors say they're participating. When they have events, they also look to be able to donate food that has not been served yet to deal with the food insecurity issues in this country. And to me, it is so important versus seeing it getting thrown in a trash can. So I think I give credit to our members who have rallied behind this. That's the least that we can, that's who we are, which is give to our communities. Our members serve every zip code in the United States. So if we can engage them to do more in their communities, which they already do, then this is a very important aspect of it.
How amazing is that?
It really is.
That's incredible.
It is.
Is there anything else you want to add as we're wrapping up?
No, just thanks to everybody who is watching this. I hope you've had a wonderful time here already, and consider that we're going to be doing more of these events in person, and we'll have hybrid components as well. And it's all about getting our members re-engaged, and I'm excited that we're able to do that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.